Hello and welcome to Old Faithful. I'm your host, Matt Trask. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Matthew Trask. My thanks to Perfect Wave Productions. Steve down here at Perfect Wave Productions keeps reminding me that they don't have a YouTube channel. Perfect Wave Productions specializes in sound, sales, service, installation, and support, including for all of your live sound needs. Please support my friends at Black Hills Blend Espresso, 4 convenient locations here in Rapid City, and a massive shout out to Dusty's Originals in Sturgis, South Dakota for this amazing hat I got. She can make anything that you want if it goes on your head, and she does offer very nice discounts for locals. I am not going to define local for her, but I feel safe in saying if you're a Black Hills resident, you would be a local. Absolutely amazing quality and service. Turnaround times may be a little longer due to the pandemic and that ship getting stuck in the canal maybe. But anyway, I highly recommend Dusty's Originals on Facebook and Instagram and dustysoriginals.com. There is a guitar store in California, in Tarzana, California, called Norman's Rare Guitar. And a few years ago, one of the employees there started a YouTube show called Guitar of the Day, where he showcased a guitar of the day. 5 days a week, he would do showcase one guitar. That man, Mark Agnesi, has now gone on to work at Gibson, and the show has continued under the care of a man named Michael Lemo. And about a week ago, he demoed a very striking and unique guitar, and I said, hey, I know where one of those is. It's time for a shameless copycat episode. Not to mention that this woman has become a dear, dear good friend of mine. I am so happy to have Angel Anthony Cope on the show.
Well, thank you, Matt. I'm proud to be here.
3 of her guitars, with the notable exception of our friend Don Laerdal, you may have the largest guitar collection of anyone I personally know.
Oh, really?
But 3 is enough for the show.
I only have so much room in the car. I couldn't carry them all.
Right. It's difficult. So this is the part of the show where I say, tell us about you.
About me?
Yeah.
Well, I could copy somebody and do a dating app, but I'm not doing that. No.
Okay.
No. I'm Angel Anthony Cope. I'm somebody's grandma, and I got great kids, and I live in Edgemont, and I write some songs, play a little guitar, and sing lullabies all the time. That's what
Edgemont is the perfect place for a country singing girl to live.
It is.
In my opinion. Tell us about your childhood and your musical influences. Did your family play music and sing music?
My dad played guitar and sang, and actually he has some history with Buck Owens back in the olden days.
Oh, wow.
And then I was born and grew up in Seattle.
Okay.
I moved to South Dakota in '82, and I met a guitar picker and married him, and we moved to Memphis. Let's see. I know lots of guitar players.
Right.
And he played bass for Jerry Lee Lewis, and he did some stuff for Little Jimmy Dickens and Stonewall Jackson, and Andrea has some really cool pictures from those days.
2 things. Number 1, her daughter, Andrea Mraz, has been on the show. Watch that episode after you get done watching this episode. And this may be the biggest deal I've had on the show so far.
Really?
You've gotten really close to being a big deal a time or 2, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
I've sang a lot of harmony. I've done some stuff, but I don't know what to tell you.
Have you sung harmony on recordings?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I did a lot of live shows. Jimmy Busby was an Elvis impersonator. They call him Mr. Memphis.
Okay.
I sang harmony for him, and he looked good in a skirt, and can sing halfway good. He can get a job.
I see.
And that's I've just done a lot of that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's been a long time. I quit music to be a mom.
Right.
So, up until in the middle of March, early part of March, you gave me a call and said, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. But I did a show with you.
Right.
at
I
the
was
Iron
responsible for getting her back on stage, and this was before I had actually met her. We had
Right.
been friends on Facebook for a little more than a year.
Yep.
And I thought she would be the perfect compliment to me singing. I was right about that. I also suspected that she wouldn't do it if I gave her a choice.
You know, it just was the right time of my life for you, you know. And you know, and I only played like 6 to 10 songs that I would sing for the grandkids because I'm not an accomplished guitar player. I'm not even a mediocre guitar player, but I can strum a little bit and I can sing. So, you know, and then my daughter said, "Mom, if you're going to do a show with Matt Trask, you have to know 40 songs and be able to play them and sing them." And I was like, 40 songs. Okay, I'll do that. So I did that. And then she's like, "And you have to stand up, Mom. You can't sit down." So I'm like, oh, crap. Now I'm going to have to learn to stand up and play guitar. So I did that. And it was a lot of fun.
You
know?
did.
And
Thank you for doing that.
I
Thank you
I
very
had
much.
so much fun.
And this
Yes.
woman is an excellent singer and a better guitarist than she gives herself credit for. As I like to say, never mind the pantheon of guitarists, you will find neither of us even in the regional directory.
No. Well, you know, Chet Atkins would just like shake his head and walk away if he could hear my guitar playing.
So let's go back to your dad hanging out with Buck Owens.
You know, yep. I don't know the name of the recording studio that Buck Owens worked in. He wasn't famous or nothing yet. You know,
Okay.
he was just starting. And my dad was a great big giant of a man, and you know, and he liked to chase girls, and Buck liked to chase girls, and they got into a fight about a girl one day. And
This is not where I thought this was going, but I like it.
But Buck Owens had a scar across his lip here that my dad left for him, you know. So it was, you know, every time he'd come on TV, my dad would look at him and just laugh, you know, and say, well, he remembers me every day. He looks in the mirror, you know. But my dad, you know, sang just like Ernest Tubb.
Okay.
So to me, he was amazing. You
Right.
know? But he raised, you know, there's 14 of us kids, you know, the blended family. They each had 5.
Oh,
and they
sure.
had 5
Okay.
more. And, you know, back in the olden days.
Regular old Brady Bunch going on.
Yep. You know, so he worked really, you know, my dad worked all the time. And,
Sure.
you know, and once in a while on Saturday or Sunday nights, he'd pull his guitar out and play, and we'd sing. And then when I was 8, I decided that I really wanted to learn to play guitar, so he gave me his guitar.
He gave you his guitar.
Yep.
So this was the guitar.
This was the guitar that my dad, you know, my dad played. That
So
was
then
it.
he didn't have one. Is
Nope.
that correct?
Nope. But he'd come to my house and
He'd come to your house and play
Yep, and play guitar.
your guitar that he gave you.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
He would do that.
We are, in fact, talking about this one in the middle, this Gibson F-25,
Yep.
often called a folk singer, apparently.
Yep. Yes.
Do we know what year it is, Angel?
I don't know what year
Okay.
it is. I thought it was a lot older than what it was, but it's 60, 61, 62.
Do we
somewhere in
know
there.
if your dad was the original owner?
Oh yeah.
He
I know
was.
that. Yeah.
Do we know where he got it?
He got it at a pawn shop in Seattle, down on First Street. You know, he had.
Well,
a
I
friend.
know nothing of the geography of Seattle, but a pawn shop on First.
He had a friend that owned a pawn shop down on First
Okay.
Street, right by the underground Seattle entrance. You know, in the main square. So
Okay.
that's where he bought it.
I'll have to go to Seattle sometime and see all this stuff.
You should. You should.
You want to pick it up and show it off?
I will show it off. Ta-da!
I-
You know,
I
it's all original except we put this on in '82.
Okay.
Didn't have that. Andrea, we made the strings that were on here up until 4 years ago were from 1982 because it holds its tune. It doesn't, you know, you don't have to mess with it
Right.
too much. But when we put strings on it in '82, I broke one of the pins.
Oh,
So I whittled one out of an old broom handle, and that's what was on there, and she thought that it deserved better than that, so she had the pins replaced and
Okay.
had the strings put on.
all right.
So, yeah.
But other than that, all original.
Yep. You know, it's got Grover keys, it's mahogany, and I don't know what the front is, but I know the back and sides are all mahogany.
It
So-
does look like mahogany. This is where I pretend to be an expert, and I would imagine the top is spruce. It looks like spruce to me. The other thing, besides the very striking double asymmetrical pickguard, the other thing about this is it's got a gigantic neck and a wide fingerboard.
Well, in my dad was the smallest of his brothers at 6'4", and his fist could cover my whole face.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You couldn't see my head. So
The smallest at 6'4".
his brothers were 6'6" and 6'9".
These were like some biblical people we had
They
going
were
on.
really big people.
Huh.
You know.
Every day.
So yeah, I don't know what. I love it though, and Andrea now loves it. It hangs out with Andrea Mraz in Shankar at Guitar Central West. That's what I call the
It
living
stays
room.
there now most
Yeah,
of the time.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't take it to Edgemont?
I brought it up here. She loves it so much she can enjoy it.
She can have it. Okay.
Well, she
All right.
can have it.
Oh, right.
She can
right,
have it.
Sure. She can keep
There has to
custody
be
of it.
something her and her brother will fight over someday, right? That's so. But I told her I'd sell it to her for $25,000. So if she wants to save up for it, that's
Okay.
that's what I'd let it go for.
That's a good retirement plan.
That's what I was
I
thinking.
like that.
Yeah. I
Yes.
was thinking. And my grandchildren are, they all are musical.
Sure.
So, one of them someday will probably play, because it won't leave the family,
The family is getting such a collection of vintage guitars that some of them might not even have any interest in this one. Some of them may let it go to the other ones.
You never know.
We could spend days showcasing this woman's guitars right
What?
here. So in your first career as a musician, did you use this on stage?
Yes, because I'm such a good guitar player, I never got plugged in, which
Okay.
worked for me because then I would just strap on a guitar and, sing a couple songs and use it as a prop.
Right.
Because if I made a mistake, then nobody knew it, and they all thought, wow, she's really good, but, she wasn't.
That's not true.
It's true, but it's okay.
Right.
At least I have a big heart and I try hard, and, you don't have to be, Chet Atkins or Glenn Campbell or, those are guitar
and with a
players.
voice like yours,
Well, thank you.
which
Matt.
you guys are about to find out about that.
Well,
Yes.
you
Do
know.
we have anything else? Any stories about this guitar?
Um,
Did this guitar make the cut on Buck Owens' lip?
no, my dad's
No.
fist did that.
Oh, okay.
My dad's
All right.
fist.
That
No,
would have
this-
been a great story.
This guitar wasn't even made back in those days. I
Okay.
can imagine.
All
This,
right.
this is 1960 to 63, somewhere in there. is
So
where this one.
you never met Buck Owens.
I never met Buck Owens.
Did you meet Merle Haggard?
I never, and that was, somebody asked me what my biggest regret in life is.
Right.
And I said, well, I'll never get to sing with Merle Haggard
Right.
because he passed away April 6th, 5 years ago.
Right.
But we sing in the car. Me and Merle perform in the car. If I'm on a long trip, the CD goes in, we sing. So, but I've met Jerry Lee Lewis, I've met Little Jimmy Dickens, I've met Stonewall Jackson, I've met Don Henley,
Wow.
the billboard guy that, I Love a Girl Wearing Nothing But a Smile in a Towel, Del Reeves.
Yeah.
He's actually spent a week with us in Hot Springs in the 80s, so that was fun.
This woman is cooler than you.
I don't know. I just, I'm quiet and I've met some nice people. Most people are nice.
Right.
Most people are really nice. So,
I'm trying to think of the man's name, and I'm not going to think of it till after the episode is over. The guitarist from The Ventures. Did you ever meet him?
no, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
Well, dang it.
But I don't know.
That was a dead end. Okay.
I'm sorry. Richard Douglas played guitar for me in Memphis. And
Okay.
He played with all the same people that I knew.
Right.
But, he's probably the best lead guitar player that I personally have ever known.
Sure.
I'd love to meet that little boy that you've had on your show and that comes to your jam sessions.
Right.
Because he just amazes me. What an amazing, talented little boy.
Keep your eye out for Bodie and Lindy, absolutely.
Yes,
Because he's going places for sure.
He is.
And that's how you do that.
Amazing. Yeah, he's just really cool. I really
Right.
like that.
Yes,
And he likes that old country that I love.
he does. He really, even older
Right.
Some of the songs he's pulling out are amazing.
They're even
I
older
thought
than
I
the
was-
stuff I know. I think I learned "The Great Speckled Bird" was the first song. I don't think you get much older than that. So.
So you mentioned somebody playing guitar for you in Memphis. Are there any recordings of you? Do you have an EP or from the olden days or anything?
No, but Andrea just found a box of old cassette tapes.
Okay.
So she might have something on there.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know, because I didn't, I married, I was 17
Mm-hmm.
when I married Andrea's dad. He was 40.
Okay. So there's hope for me.
Yes. And we were married for 7 years before Andrea came along.
Okay.
And then I married a cowboy,
Uh-huh.
So I put, the music thing was done. It's time to go to work and, go check heifers and spray Canadian thistle and all this stuff that, you get to do on the ranch in South
That
Dakota.
sounds much less fun than playing music in Memphis.
The cool thing about Memphis is you carry your own bottle.
Uh-huh.
The bars are open till 4 in the morning. You
Oh.
just buy your Pepsi or your Coke or whatever you want to go with your liquor.
Okay.
You buy beer, but you
Sure.
carry your own bottle. So I always thought that was really cool.
Sounds cool to me.
That's, they should do that here. I think the last beer I bought here was like $8 for a beer or $6. That was crazy.
Inflation and what have you,
That's,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Should we talk about these other guitars that you brought?
We can talk about these. I bought this guitar. This is a Gibson 300,
Okay.
an estate sale out of Branson, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know anything about other than it was an auction.
Okay.
And I got that. So
But if it came from Branson, it certainly may have spent some time under the floodlights.
it probably has.
Yeah.
It's a pretty guitar.
Yes.
And you just had a gentleman here that repairs guitars, and he says that's an old guitar too.
It is. It is an
I-
old guitar, for sure.
I've never seen it. Andrea and I've never seen that pickup. The electronics. I've never seen
Oh.
that particular kind.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and it's pretty. It's big. I like, it's a big girl, and I like the big girls when
Right.
it comes to the guitars. So,
One thing that you might notice, and it's not always a dead giveaway, I think some models have started using this again, but the Epiphone on the headstock of this guitar is the letters are smaller but thicker than the ones on that one, which
I
is the
guess
more
I didn't-
modern
yeah.
version. So tell us about that one really quickly.
This too was an auction.
Okay.
That I bought this guitar, and I wanted it.
Uh-huh.
Because it's big, and I wanted a big giant guitar. So
Girls look really good with
behind-
giant guitars. I don't
and
know
that's-
why.
I thought it would fit me good. So,
Right.
And then I took it and had Laura at Haggerty's do some. I had a, because when I put strings on, I pulled one too tight, and there must have been a crack in the bridge bone.
Right.
So it kind of got stuck in there. So I just had to replace. Just do
the
it.
bridge and the nut.
Yeah,
Okay.
have her do that too, and then put new strings on, because Andrea says it's really important to change your strings. Don't wait 40 years, Mom, to change strings on a guitar.
I'm not going to argue with that.
I don't, I don't like to pump my own gas. I don't like to tune my own guitar, so that's what I have kids for. And that's what you and Matt graciously tuned my guitars today. So
You're very welcome.
That's-
You may have heard a fire truck go by in the video. Shout out to the Rapid City Fire Department keeping us all from catching on fire. Would you like to? Do we have anything else we need to talk about?
we could talk about whatever you want to.
Okay, I'm so incredibly glad you came on the show. Thank you
I'm
very,
proud to
very,
be here.
very much.
Proud to be here. You've gotten me out of my house more than, I've been out of my house more this last couple months than I have in 5 years. So
Well, it's a good time to get out of the house.
it is. It's
Yes,
beautiful.
it's the weather's warming up here in western South Dakota. We're coming back to life. K-Fest X happened this weekend. It was a good time.
I didn't get to go, but Andrea, and you
Played.
Yep, and
Yep.
you played, and
Played and sang. Did a good
That's-
job.
yep.
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
was
Would you like to play us a song on the F-25?
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Perfect. Are we ready? Please remember my sponsorship with Trask Hay LLC, large, round, and square bales, and custom haying services. We're getting some rain here in South Dakota. You may have hay to put up. Call Joe at 605-515-0858. From Tarzana, California, Michael Lemo says, change your strings. By request, me and Alexander Moen's new favorite song, The Other Side of Goodbye.
All right.
Take it away, Angel.
Okay. Well, let me get my feet here. I can barely reach the floor with my feet in this chair. So, on the other side of goodbye, across a blue and cloudless sky, when this life on earth is finally over and there's no pain and no tears to cry, I can't wait to see you again. I know you'll be watching over me. It was so hard for me to let go, not knowing how long it might be. The other side of goodbye, across a blue and cloudless sky, when this life on earth is finally over and there's no pain and no tears to cry, we'll all get to wear angel wings, a halo and play golden strings. Well, we'll sing hallelujah and I saw the light on the other side of goodbye. On the other side of goodbye, across a blue and cloudless sky, when this life on earth is finally over and there's no pain and no tears to cry, there's no pain and no tears to cry, on the other side of goodbye. All right. All right. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
All right.